Hey everyone, this is Casual Fanatic.
Film reviews without the shoes.
I'm Luca, your casual viewer.
And I'm Cayman, your fanatic. What is up, my dude?
Nothing much, man. All good, man. Holidays are coming up real quick.
Yeah.
I'll be driving to Texas tomorrow with my cat. But other than I got a job. We were talking a few times on the later podcast that I don't have a job, but I've got one now. So W.
Yup.
But other than that, man, I'm just hanging out, doing good, man. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. Things still a little slow at work because everyone's off for the holidays, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
It just snowed for the first time here today, so
Oh, sweet.
that's
How was that?
exciting. I mean, I didn't notice while I was at work, and then it was snowing the whole time I drove home, and then when I got home, it stopped snowing.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah,
But that's awesome. Did
but
it stick or
still
no?
cool. A little bit, but definitely not like, not enough to, like, be an issue.
I got you.
Like I could still see there was like a thin layer of snow on my roof, but like the roads were all clean, and
Okay.
there wasn't like anything piling up or anything.
Well, that's good. That's good. That's awesome. Well, hopefully the snow will start coming
Hopefully
in for you too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little worried what's gonna happen if I like get snowed in, because I don't have like my last job we had laptops, so like if
Right.
anything happened I could be like, oh, I'll just work from home today, but like I don't have a laptop for this job, so if I can't drive to work, then I just can't work.
Wow. Yeah, that kind of sucks. You'll have to like call in a sick day or what?
I don't know. I guess I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, but like
That's true.
my bosses know how far away I live, so
That's wild. Yeah, you drive like an hour and a half every day, right? Or an hour?
an
Either way?
hour and a half, yeah.
Fuck.
Kind of wild.
Yeah, that's tough. But you're doing it.
Yeah.
So what do we got going on today? This is a little different, right?
Yeah, we got a bit of a special episode. Before I get too into it, I also there was a bit of a breaking news today.
Uh-oh.
Previously we had talked about Jonathan Majors, who plays, or should I say played, Kang in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Earlier today was found guilty in his assault case.
Yeah.
There was different charges, and some of them he was found guilty and others he was found not guilty. I think specifically as far as the assault goes, he was found not guilty of intentional assault, but was found guilty of reckless assault. But either way, Disney has made the official announcement that he will no longer be in their movies.
Oh, wow. That's tough.
So we'll have to see what happens there. But
Yeah, I mean, that's what we get.
yeah. But anyway, that was a little bit depressing. Back to the fun news.
Yeah, for real. Sad breaking news.
So today
But,
we're
yeah.
gonna be doing a little bit of a ranking, like award show kind of a thing. And so I've slapped together here all of the movies. Well, not all of the movies that we've covered this year, but the ones that came out this year. I didn't want to be ranking stuff from like 10 plus years ago. So
Right.
I've just listed the movies that came out this year and that we reviewed, and we're going to be going through some different categories and, just feeling it out and seeing what we think about things.
All right, let's do this thing.
All right, so for our first category, let's talk about score. Talk about which of these movies, where we think they belong as far as the music. I said score, but like score, soundtrack, just like that general sort of idea, because I know some of these had more like specifically composed scores, and then other things were more like pulling from existing songs. So
Right.
So let's start here. Let's start with the Super Mario Brothers movie. What did you think about the score? I know we had talked about this a little bit during our review episode. I think the times when they pulled existing songs didn't work as well for me, but when they had the actual score with the like recognizable Mario themes, I felt like those moments were really good.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. This was one of those movies where we did talk about it, but it's not one where I like wrote it down because it was important. The only part of this movie that I wrote down that I thought was a pretty cool score part was Bowser singing with the piano at the very end.
Yeah.
uh, but I don't know. I think, like you said, they pulled a lot from existing music. Personally, I would probably rank it as C.
Okay.
I didn't think it was that impressive,
I
but
feel
let's
like
see. What do you think?
I'm thinking more of a B. I
Hmm.
think I think it would
Why?
be if it wasn't for the licensed music, it might be an A because I thought the scored music was really good, but I think it kind of got ruined by all of the licensed music.
Right.
But
Right.
I don't think it was like mid tier. I think it was still overall pretty good.
Huh. Okay. All right. All right. All right. We'll give it a B then.
All right, to be it is. Next one is A Knock at the Cabin. This one, I gotta be honest, I don't
Which
really remember the score for. I
I don't
feel
think there
like
really was.
it
Much
was,
of a
yeah, it was
score.
very like suspenseful score. It wasn't meant to stand out. It was kind of just like background stuff to sort of like underline the emotional moments.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. And when you say like score, you don't mean um like sound effects with that, right? You just literally mean like
just the
music.
music, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the only music that I really remember was them singing that one song in the car. Uh,
Oh yeah, I don't even
but
remember what song that was.
I don't know, but it was definitely like a really well-known,
Hmm. I'm,
well-known one.
I'm thinking maybe like D on this.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't be F just because there is one song. So,
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I feel like this one is one of those where it's more heavy on the licensed music than the score. I
yeah.
remember the movie starts with Creep. There's some Florence and the Machine in there.
Yep.
There's I can't even remember another one now. But I feel like James Gunn, the director of the Guardians movies, is always pretty good about picking out music. I think all of those moments work pretty well.
Now, would you plop that into S tier, or is that just a solid, really nice A tier?
I don't know. What do you think?
Hmm. I think A tier. I think there's only one movie here that has, for me, one
Okay, okay.
that has an S tier
I think
soundtrack.
A sounds fair because I think, like I said, the licensed music is always like top notch on these, but there also is moments of score, and I feel like score wise, the Guardians movies aren't as strong. So we'll put that in
Okay.
A.
Okay. The
Haunted
Haunted
Mansion.
Mansion. Oof. Let me see.
I think this one is pretty like they have like some of the classic like Haunted Mansion songs from the ride, but if I'm
Right.
remembering correctly, I feel like I didn't particularly enjoy the covers of them.
No, but there was that one song at the very end where all like the ghosts were dancing to it in like that ballroom,
Yeah, that's
which was one catchy
Grim
song.
Grinning
But
Ghosts, which is yeah, that's a song from the ride as well. I
yeah,
would say maybe C tier on this, just because it's at least somewhat memorable, whereas
right.
like Knock at the Cabin was a little easier to forget.
I agree.
John Wick Chapter 4.
Ooh,
I think I don't know what I
this
think.
one is tough. I don't know if I remember any like memorable musics in that one.
Yeah, I think This falls into the same sort of tier, I think, as Knock at the Cabin, where the music didn't really stand out by itself. I feel like if I had watched it again and paid more attention, it's probably the kind of score where it's more like it assists the action rather than being its own thing.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Which is like, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's John Wick isn't a music movie; it's an action movie. But
yeah.
As far as music goes, we're gonna have to stick that down here.
Very true.
All right, Barbie. I would say this one is maybe an A. I feel like I really liked all of the songs in here, especially the "I'm Just Ken" top-notch song right there, and I recently started. I don't know why. I don't know. It didn't hit me as much when I saw the movie, but then recently I got back onto the Billie Eilish song that came out with this movie. That's a banger too.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like a lot of these Barbie, the Barbie soundtrack, right? It became really big.
Yeah.
But it didn't last for very long. But it did like reach like top 10 charts. So I don't know if it should be S tier. Personally, I'm like, it's all right. But people loved it.
That's true. But we're not worried about other people's opinion. We're given our ranking here.
That's true. That's true. But like, that's so hard actually. Yeah, I would say A.
Yeah, let's put it up here.
Unfortunately, I might change that later, but
that's fine. We can. And you know what? Fuck it. We'll put it up there.
for now, we'll see.
Renfield. I know you didn't watch that one. I think that episode was with me and Elena, but I
watched the trailer though yesterday. Dude, I wish I would have seen it.
I mean, really you can still go watch it.
Nope.
But yeah, I mean, this score is kind of meh too. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen it, so I can't remember anything specifically, but yeah, it's just a yin, you know?
I mean, was there music though?
I mean, I would assume so. I don't think this movie was completely silent. I mean, well, I feel like it's F tier music is so hard to come by. I feel like it just has to be dog shit music.
I know as well.
I feel like D is forgettable. F is like aggressively bad.
They purposely made a really shit movie.
But I'm gonna go ahead and put Renfield on D.
That's fair.
Indiana Jones. I feel like you can never go wrong with the classic Indiana Jones theme, but I really don't remember much else from that movie.
Yeah, I agree. I would have said that's a B tier. Just because it is so
iconic.
Big. Iconic, yeah.
Yeah, I think it gets some brownie points for that. Oppenheimer, I think that that
might
score
be F
was
tier.
Really? Bro, no, the Oppenheimer score was powerful.
It was very powerful. It was.
I mean,
but this one was not my S tier movie, unfortunately.
It might be one of my S tiers. I hate to fall into the Barbenheimer like combination, but both of them had such good music.
Yeah.
What would you put it at?
I would have said A, honestly.
Okay. So
just because like none of that track I would listen to afterwards for fun.
I have listened to some of it afterwards.
Okay. All right. Well, I think then we should put it in the S tier. If you've listened to it afterwards, that's definitely memorable.
Okay. Across the Spider-Verse, I think also pretty damn good in terms of music.
This was my S tier movie.
I will say personally, I think the first movie was a little bit better, but yeah, this one, I think this is good enough to go into S tier.
Yeah.
Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Oh boy.
maybe like a
Was
C. I feel like it was good atmospheric. Like I wouldn't call it forgettable, but it was like it was very in the moment music.
Yeah. The biggest thing that I remember from that movie is like the voiceover, the background voiceovers.
Yeah. We'll put
But
that in C.
yeah.
Quantum Mania. I feel like meh, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't
It's
even
just
I can't even think of a single song.
hold on, let me oh, where is it? I'm trying to see what my notes say. Give me 1 second. Oh yeah, this was the one with the really bad CGI creature at the start. Oof.
Really bad CGI everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Nothing.
Yeah, we'll stick that down in D. Last but not least, or maybe least, we'll see. The Flash. I'd say this might get. It's hard because I feel like a lot of the music was forgettable, but it also had like, I feel like some of the stronger like orchestral moments were all right, and like the moments
Yeah.
with Michael Keaton's Batman, like they brought back the old Batman theme song, and
Right.
I feel like those moments were all right.
I think it's a solid B or C.
Yeah,
Definitely a solid B.
let's put it at B.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, but now that we have all this, right, we have to, out of all of these Ds, which one of those is the worst?
Out of all the D's,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know
If-
because I
if we were to
forgot
put
all of
one-
them.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. Yeah. If we were to have to put one in the F category, right?
I mean, I am tempted to say Quantumania, but just because I don't like the movie, but I feel like that's an unfair bias. The music
that's
might
tough.
be all right. I'd have to listen to it again.
All right. We'll just keep it in the Ds. So S tier. I mean, Barbie. I think all of these belong. I really do.
Yeah, I was thinking, because I know we were a little on the fence about Barbie before, but I think I can't think of a bad song from that movie.
I can't either, and it was so catchy, and like the dancing, and I don't know, they had fast music and slow music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. So
I think
there's
this is all really fair.
There's our
Yeah.
ranking for score. On to the
Yep.
next rank, which will be visual effects, or special effects rather, not only visual effects. I think so again, it's starting with Super Mario Brothers here. I think this is kind of
A little hard.
a little hard because it's an animated movie, so you can't. I feel like I almost want to put this at an F, just, and it's not fair. I recognize that, but because it's animated, the whole movie is kind of visual effects, but it's not like, I don't know, it's different when you're not adding it onto film. You're just, that is the movie, you know?
Well, then how about we don't even rate the two animated ones here?
Yeah.
Don't even put them in the F side. You want to?
Nah, I mean, we don't have to. I can make a, hold on. Boop. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. I don't want to put something in the F category that doesn't really deserve one. So.
That way no one has to feel bad about it.
All right.
All right. We'll go ahead and stick these here then. Knock at the Cabin, I feel like there wasn't really that many special effects. Like,
I mean,
there was like
world
the
blowing up
giant
and
the giant
news.
tidal wave and the planes falling out of the sky, but like, honestly, those weren't that good, and it was on a TV screen, so you didn't really have to like see it that well. And I feel like there was one shot where it's like not on the TV and you see a plane fall out of the sky, and from memory I feel like that effect wasn't that great.
Maybe a D.
maybe a
Or I
D,
mean,
but it's bordering on an F. We'll have to come back to
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Guardians, I feel like was great. I mean, especially they had what, 4 animal characters, and all of them
Yeah.
looked pretty damn realistic. Like
Mm-hmm.
they've nailed Rocket by this third movie now, and I mean third movie, but Rocket's been in the Avengers movies and like other things like that as well. But I mean, they just top notch, and some of this stuff with Nebula is great. All of the like outer space effects. I don't know. I feel
I
like
agree.
it's kind of easy for Marvel because they have so much money to spend on it. But
That's
that's
fair. I'd say S tier, no?
yeah, for Rocket alone, I think that's got to go S tier.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Haunted Mansion, the
C.
all right.
Haunted Mansion. Okay, look, the ghosts were not that great. Granted, there were a lot of them and stuff like that, but it was just
Yeah,
not.
you're right. They were just all right.
Yeah, it wasn't like terrible, terrible like Ghostbusters ghosts, but they were definitely not the best.
Yeah. John Wick, I feel like there is not quite as much like CG in this, but if we're talking like full on special effects, which includes practical effects, I have to give a shout out to the dragon's breath weapon. Oh my god, that was
Oh yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah. Maybe a B.
Yeah, I feel like B is good.
Because John Wick also does all his own stunts too, right?
Yeah, but
Doesn't
I
do with
think
special effects, but that's pretty cool.
yeah. Barbie, I'm trying to think. I can't even think. I mean, there had to have been some special effects, but like, I feel like not even
Oh, like her
really.
floating down from the house or something
Yeah,
like that,
I mean, but
maybe?
that's like a simple like wire paint out. That's not super impressive.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of it was like there wasn't really any effects. It was just like good
It's just
prop
what it
work.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's
So
tough. Maybe an F. Just because there are none. Or maybe an A. I don't know.
or no, I think because there weren't any noticeable ones, we'll put this at D and we'll move that one down because that one had
That's fair.
bad effects.
I agree. I agree.
Renfield, I think. See, here's the thing: is Renfield had bad effects, quote unquote, but like they were. It was like kind of on purpose. Like the movie is very over the top, where it's like almost cartoon level, where like there would be scenes where he'll punch someone and like literal gallons of blood will come out of them and it looks so ridiculous, and it's like it doesn't look realistic at all, but it's fun. And so I might I might put that in C, but for a very different reason than Haunted Mansion is in C.
Okay. All right. I'll take your word on it. I have to.
Indiana Jones, I think there was like some basic like explosions. I feel like most of the special effects on this one would have been in that ending scene where they're like back in what's the name of the island?
Where they like blew up the boat and stuff?
Yeah, they like go back in time and there's like this giant battle and
Oh, right. Fuck, I forgot all about that.
yeah.
Yeah, they go back to like the medieval age almost.
Man, I can't remember what it's like a disappointing.
What are you talking about?
I'm trying to remember the name of the island that they landed on.
Oh, no, don't ask me that.
Well, if
Maybe
there's
something with a K.
anyone in our audience is a history buff, you can leave it in the comments.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like the effects on like those old ships and like the giant like I don't know, there was like fires and stuff everywhere and people shooting like ballistic arrows and things like that.
Yeah. Oh, Siege of Syracuse
Syracuse.
in
Could not
Greece.
remember. Lord.
I think I said something with an S, right? I was right.
Maybe.
Go me.
But yeah, I think maybe B for that one.
Man, I don't know. That one scene alone was really cool.
Which one?
The Syracuse,
scene?
where they
Would
had
you
like
bump it
the
up to an A?
catapults and like, I would say A. Like they had all those ships and they like showed a really vast amount of like buildings and
Okay.
boats and like people.
We can put that in A.
I don't know. I think that's an A. It wasn't much, but what they did have was clean.
Yeah. I'd say Oppenheimer's gotta go S tier. The fact that they recreated a nuclear explosion completely practical, and all of those little like when he's like having his visions, all those little flirty little vision things. Man, that
sex scenes.
That shit looked cool. I wasn't talking about the
boobs.
sex scenes. I was talking about the weird little particle things.
I know.
Ridiculous.
My mind went straight to the sex scenes.
I mean, there was
right.
some good titties too. So
yeah, that's S tier.
I don't know if that
S tier
counts.
boobs.
I don't know if that counts as a special effect.
All right.
Last Voyage of the Demeter. I know you were a bigger fan of the Dracula effects than I was, but
I thought he looked interesting.
I also really loved the like when people caught on fire. I thought that was a really good effect.
Yeah.
And the makeup, which I guess I don't know if makeup counts as a special effect, but like when people had those like giant gouges out of their like body, like all of that stuff looked really good.
Yeah. I would say it's a clean A.
Yeah, I'd put that as an A. Quantumania was kind of bland. It was brown and
F-tier.
Muddy. I mean,
yeah, it was so bad. The movie opened up with a CGI monster, and it looked so bad. It looked like it was something from 20 years ago that you threw in the movie.
Yeah, it just felt lazy.
Yeah.
And I mean, Flash is no question F tier. Those fake ass babies, and when they're running through the little like time sphere and all, oh my god! And in the end with all of
D
those
for this one,
all of those other like Superman that you see, they look like they're from a PlayStation 1 cutscene.
Damn, you're right.
Oh my god, they're bad.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Oh, damn, I was gonna put that one in D, but no.
Nah.
Wow, look at that spread. That's crazy. Yo, so far Oppenheimer is winning. That's 2 times in the S tier category.
Well, we'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah.
All right, so that's that one. On to our next category, which is going to be best protagonist. All right, so let's start here. I'd say it would be nice if Mario and Luigi were both
together,
co-leads, but this Luigi is in prison for half the movie. I feel like this is definitely more Mario's movie. So how do we feel about Mario as a protagonist?
He was a B tier for me.
Okay.
I think he just didn't fill out the role as I kind of wanted him to. It felt like very accidental. Everything was happening accidentally for him.
I gotcha. I would agree with that. It felt like he didn't have... I don't know. It was like he kind of just happened to be good at things that didn't really make sense. And I know there was like that whole training montage with him and Peach, but then like when they go to recruit Donkey Kong, Peach is like, oh, I wouldn't dare. And then Mario somehow beats him, even though he's supposed to be like super tough. I don't know.
Yep.
Knock at the Cabin. I don't remember any of the names of that main family, but I'd say like they were pretty good. Like especially their performances were strong. That little girl did a good job. yeah, I feel like they weren't particularly heroic, but like they
No,
tried.
but
And
yeah, they
and it's
tried. They
like it's
got
a
shot,
realistic,
and
yeah, and
then
it's like what the fuck do you do when four strangers show up at your door with giant
right.
weapons? Like there's
Yeah,
only so
yeah,
much you can do. Um,
right.
but yeah, I think they were. I mean, I'd
I
say
think it's
they're
pretty A tier.
better than Mario. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Guardians, I think we can easily say S tier. I feel like they're
Yeah.
they're good. I every single one of them. Haunted Mansion. This is another group thing. There, I guess if we had to pick a single protagonist, it would be the what's
African
his
American
name?
dude.
Um, I want to say William, but that's not right.
Uh, it was Ben Matthias.
Ben
No?
Matthias. Yeah. I'd say he is like the top level protagonist. Um, I guess out of the whole ensemble, he has the most story going on. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but, I mean,
And he wasn't bad, right?
He wasn't bad,
terrible.
but he wasn't like he wasn't great.
I agree. But I'd say B. I'd say he's like on the same kind of plane as Mario.
Yeah.
You don't think so? Maybe?
I'm bordering
Would you
between
have
B
said
and
C?
C. I might have said C, but I'm open to B.
I mean, if he's a C, then Mario's definitely a C for me.
But you
'Cause
think
Mario
Mario,
is, like,
and
very
him definitely on the
accidental.
same level?
I think so.
Let's move them both down.
All
Because
right,
I
yeah,
feel like we can find some true B's in here.
I agree.
John
All
Wick.
right,
I
John
mean,
Wick. S
goddamn.
tier. I mean,
Yeah, man, kicks ass through and through. Even
there's
after
no question in my
even
mind.
after being knocked down, what was it, like 300 steps? He fucking
He
got
gets
back
up
up.
and keeps going. Yeah, that man's a machine. Yeah, great movie.
Barbie. I
I mean, Barbie's definitely the main one. Over
I
Ken.
think, I mean, yeah, but I think I feel like I'm being too generous with my S's. Maybe maybe like an
Yeah,
A.
that's a hard one for me too. But she did so much, right?
Yeah, but also
At the same time,
like
though, she
what?
wasn't the one that really drove home
That's what
a
I'm saying.
point.
Like I feel like she did a lot emotionally, but she didn't actually do a lot. Like
I agree.
they went
I
to the
agree.
real world. She talked to the Mattel CEO, and then she just went back to Barbie Land. And then
With the mom.
right, and then the mom is the one that ended up like breaking the like mind control of the other Barbies, so that like that wasn't
Right.
even really main Barbie either.
Maybe I would say B.
Is Barbie a B?
Because I don't see Barbie. If we say she's the main one, right?
Yeah.
She basically was told she has to go to the real world to do something. She didn't want to do it. And then she did it, and like Ken was there, and then like they kind of like stumbled into all of these things. I don't know what she did that was like like a statement.
Yeah. She didn't really
I think she
move
led.
the plot a whole lot.
No, she didn't.
All right, well that's
I mean,
our
we could put it in
take.
A, but
Nah, Barbie's a B.
it's a really strong B.
And if anyone disagrees
Yeah,
with us,
just because-
sucks
yeah.
to suck.
Sucks to suck, and let us know in the email. We will give you that later.
Okay, as
All right.
far as Renfield, I feel like he definitely was a much more active protagonist.
Now, what
he-
is? Would you say the protagonist was which one?
Renfield definitely?
Renfield was the Dracula guy.
No, Dracula is the Dracula guy.
Okay. Oh, oh, Renfield was the guy.
Renfield's the
Oh, yeah,
character.
you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he, like I said, he had some pretty kick-ass moments. Um, he needed some help in some certain areas, so I wouldn't call him S tier, but I think he's a comfortable A.
Yeah. Okay. Don't know, but I'll take it.
Indiana Jones.
Hmm.
I feel like the opening scene was really strong, and then the rest of the movie not so much.
In which sense of him like leading the charge to do things?
Yeah, of him like doing things. I feel like other than that opening scene where he's like young Indiana Jones, I feel like a lot of the rest of the movie is him following his niece around.
Right. 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 Yeah. It's trying to chase her.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say that's a B, a strong B, or like a C, high C, or what?
Maybe like not a high B, but a B for sure.
Okay.
He
Okay.
still did more than Mario did.
Absolutely. Yeah. 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 That's like, yeah, almost. Yeah. All right.
Okay, Robert J. Oppenheimer. Um, I mean he did for sure. He
He
created the
moved
fucking
almost the
bomb.
whole. Yeah. He moved like the whole plot, I would say.
Yeah, I think there were. It's I was kind of questioning on this one because the uh the movie does follow two points of view, but we'll get to this in our next category, but I'd say the other point of view that we follow is not a protagonistic one.
Right. But I would still say this is an S tier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's a pretty solid protagonist. Miles Morales. I I
Huh. Um.
I
He
mean
did a lot in
he
moving.
did how okay, so how much of this movie centered on Gwen Stacy?
Not that much, right? It was like maybe 10%.
It's got to be more
If
than 10. The whole opening scene is her.
yeah.
Because remember, she's like, she does all the introductions, and then she has the fight with the vulture, and she has that whole thing with her dad.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't think it's an S tier at all.
No, I don't
Um,
think he was quite. If this was the first movie, I'd say yes. I
but
think.
not with the lineup. I think it was better than Barbie and Indiana Jones, though.
Yeah, let's put him in A.
All right.
Okay. What do you remember the guy's name in Last Voyage?
Which one?
The British astronomer guy who's the only person that survived.
Robert Stack?
Because I feel like if we're
Cliff?
Cliff,
Is that Cliff?
I don't remember that name, but I also don't remember any of their names, so you could be right.
Wait, maybe not. Where are the people? Let's see. Oh, Clemens.
Clemens. That sounds way more familiar.
Clemens.
What do we
Yeah.
think about Clemens?
I know you didn't like him, but I liked him.
I did not
But I
like
don't
him.
think it was.
I really didn't like the fact that he survived. I
Yeah, that's
really
fair.
liked him
I
up until he didn't die.
I think. I think this is a B.
Okay.
In all honesty, just because there were so many other characters that helped
That's true.
kind of push everything forward, and he wasn't like the main horse, but I
Like
wouldn't say it was a
he was
C.
like the idea guy, and he was like, "Oh, we need to do this, we need to do that."
Yeah.
But like he very often was not the actual one doing it.
Right, right.
Okay. Put him in a B then. Okay, Ant-Man.
Hmm.
I think I mean he wasn't inactive. I just feel
No, he was doing
like
a lot.
I'm just trying to think of like what actually he did. The like the biggest thing I can remember is when he went to get the weird orb thing, and then he like turned into like 2,000 of himself.
Oh yeah, and he like grabbed it and climbed upon it himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I just don't know how much of the movie he pushed.
Yeah, I feel like and it wasn't even like I could excuse not pushing the plot forward if it was more perspective driven, but the movie really kind of bounced back and forth, especially since they had like two groups. There was like the wow, I all of a sudden can't remember anyone's names. But there was like him and his daughter were one thing, and then the other three were like in a separate group doing their own thing.
Yeah, yeah. So what do you think, C or D?
I mean, I think C. I feel like
Okay.
because he did stuff, so gotta at least give him that.
All right. All right.
All right, The Flash. I think
I mean, that's a
maybe a B. Because like especially since there were two of him, like he literally did everything except the stuff Batman
yeah.
did.
That's why I would say A though, because
Is that
he
A?
literally was. Yeah.
Okay.
Because Barbie, because all the B movies, like they were important, but they're like not that important.
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like he led the plot probably just as much as Spider Verse did,
No, you're right. You're right.
if not more.
All right, A it is. So no D's or F's on this one. Pretty
No,
good,
no.
decent protagonists all around.
Yeah. Good job. Good job, movies. Let's go.
Good job. All right, next one here is going to be antagonists.
All
So
right.
starting off with Mario, we have Bowser. I'd say I think Bowser was a fairly good protagonist. He
I agree.
wasn't like menacing, but I feel like his um I don't know, he
He
was
had like,
effective.
yeah, he had like that sweet side, but then he also had like the sour side, right?
And like up until
And
the end, he was pretty much winning. Like
yeah,
he got shit done.
yeah. I would say
So
that's an A, right?
yeah, I
I
think I
mean,
think Bowser deserves an A. All right, for Knock at the Cabin, we have the Four Strangers. I would
yep.
say I want to. I like. I feel like I want to put them higher because they were, so, like, personal and humanized, and like
Yeah.
seeing the backstory for all of them, and them being like, listen, I don't want to be here doing this, but like I really feel in my heart that I have to do this, and they felt driven, they felt like they had purpose, and I really
Yeah.
liked that.
Yeah. This is the one that I put as S tier, just because of Leonard. I think Leonard was that real, like, antagonistic character that just drove home. Like he was very straightforward and real
Yeah.
and personable. But yeah, great, great, great antagonist.
For Guardians, we have the High Evolutionary.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like he's easy to hate because of the animal torture, but I feel like in terms of being an actual antagonist, I don't know. I feel like all of his bad stuff was in flashbacks.
Yeah.
Like, what did he
He
even
just
do in the main, like, present timeline?
Nothing much, I don't think, that I
Yeah.
remember. I would say he's a C or D for me.
Yeah. I think. I mean, the flashbacks do count, so I'll give him C. But
Okay.
Haunted Mansion is the Hatbox Ghost, which is kind of
That's
it's. I
that's a D for
feel
me.
like yeah, he was kind of meh.
I think the lady that was like up in the attic that wanted to chop his head off
Yeah.
was more effective than he was.
I think if I felt like I had I don't know.
You wanted it higher?
No, I feel like he could have been higher if he was as uh, um, manipulative as the movie tried to pretend like he was. Like he kept trying to like toy with the people and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna talk to this kid and make him think he's talking to his dead dad," or "Oh, I'm gonna talk to this guy and make him think that he can see his wife again." And it's like
True.
it worked on the characters. It didn't work on me as part of the audience. I didn't
I
like.
agree.
It felt very obvious to me that he was lying, and I
Yeah.
feel like if he had been a better liar, he could have been higher.
Yep. I'm with it.
John Wick. I guess it would be. I don't remember his character's name, but it's Bill Skarsgård. Um, because he's like he doesn't have like a name. He has like a title because he's part of the high table.
Yeah.
Um, hmm.
Was
I
it Marquise Vincent? No. Who was
the
the
Marquis du Vincent is what you're saying?
Yeah. Wait, who do you think the antagonist was in this?
The
Who's the character
I don't remember the
or
character's
the
name.
actor? I mean,
Bill Skarsgård.
Skarsgård. Oh, he was Marquise Vincent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Marquis de Vincent, because he's
Yeah.
French,
I don't know.
or maybe he just has a French title. I think he's actually Swedish or something like that. But
Yeah, he's Swedish. He's a Swedish actor.
well, I know the actor's Swedish,
That's
but I think
a
the
tough
character's.
one for me.
But yeah, I think I don't know. I feel like he was generally like he was powerful because he had authority. I don't know if that power is like enough to make him a good antagonist because like in the end he like everything he did was having other people do his shit for him, and then in the end
Yeah,
when
I
he
think-
tried to do something himself he got shot. So
Yeah, I think it's in the same range as the D.
but I think I like
Well,
authority isn't for
see,
nothing
maybe-
though. Like being
Yeah, but
like
he didn't do
a
anything.
mob boss is still like being a good bad guy even if you're not the one out there shooting people.
Yeah, but like in all of like those scenes where they were chasing John Wick, he was always in like the back of the group and he barely did anything. I don't know. I feel like oh man.
Maybe like a C.
Maybe a C. Yeah, that's the hard one. I just don't see him as like a good antagonist. He was decent.
I think also because he had the power to manipulate Donnie Yen's character, Kane,
Yeah.
where he was like, either you kill John Wick or I'm gonna like what did he say? It was like his daughter or something.
Yeah.
He's like, you kill John Wick or I'm gonna kill your daughter. I think
I'm gonna kill Akira.
yeah, I think that's I don't know. I feel like he gets at least a C.
Okay. That's fair.
Who is the antagonist in Barbie? Would it be like the CEO?
I would say Ken.
You think so?
I think so. I mean, the whole plot was basically revolving around him, like being like men are better and learning that from the real world, and then
Yeah, but he
changing
wasn't
Barbie
like
Land.
he wasn't like it didn't come across as him being like the villain. I feel like Ken was more of a
Oh.
secondary protagonist. He just did, like, he made mistakes and they had to fix those mistakes, but he wasn't acting out of malice.
No, I don't think you have to be acting out of malice to be an antagonist, though. I think he misunderstood and was driving for the wrong cause, which made him the antagonist. That's why they had those, the fights, and that's why the girls had to like trick the men. The CEO guy, he was just such a non-character to me.
Well, that's what I'm
He was
saying.
just
Like, but
there.
I think he had the more antagonistic spirit because he was trying to like, oh, we're just gonna like put Barbie back in the box and make her forget, and she doesn't need to deal with any of this stuff. And I don't know, he felt more evil to me, even though he didn't. He was a bad antagonist, but I think he was the antagonist.
I think Ken was the antagonist. Let me Google this real quick. Let's see. Ken. Yeah. In Barbie, Greta Gerwig masterfully crafts the surprising twist by turning Ken, typically portrayed as Barbie's loyal companion, into the unexpected villain of the story.
I mean, all right, if that's what the intention was, but if that's the case, then he was a really shitty villain because he
I don't
all of
know,
his
man.
bad stuff was accidental. He wasn't doing anything mean.
I mean,
He was just like,
they
oh, horses are cool, and then it went bad for everyone.
no, but like he basically brainwashed all of the women
But
to be
not on
like,
purpose.
well, I mean, I don't think it has to be on purpose for it to be a villainous act, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, we've already agreed that he was the villain, but if he's not being a villain on purpose, then I don't think he's a very good villain.
Oh, I see what you're saying. That's a hard thing though, because overall in the movie plot, it was pretty bad. But yeah, he didn't do it on purpose. Damn, that's tough. What would I rate him? He changed all of Barbie Land to be Ken.
I'd put him at a D.
No way.
I would.
I would say B
I think
or
if you're
C.
I think if you're an accidental villain, then like that's the amount of effect that he had is like if you were watching like the Pompeii movie and you called the volcano the antagonist. It's like it wasn't trying to fuck up the town, it just did.
Yeah, but I don't know. I say B or C,
Oh, we'll
but
have
you're
to go.
leaning toward D,
We'll have
so
to go with C then, because
okay, okay.
definitely wasn't no B.
I thought he was, man. He did so much in the movie to piss people off,
And the
especially
volcano
Barbie,
did
and
a
he
lot to
knew.
piss off Pompeians, but it wasn't
But
trying.
he knew what he was doing,
I
right?
don't think he did, because in the end he even admits he was like, "Yeah, I thought it was just about horses, and then when I found out it wasn't like that, I kind of lost interest."
Yeah, but remember when he was basically becoming jealous of Barbie giving everyone else the attention, so he acted out on his own terms to kind of like try to get her attention.
Yeah, but I don't. Trying to get someone's attention isn't an evil act.
What he did though was kind of evil.
Yeah.
And then he like blew her off a few times and just didn't really care about her anymore because he was like him and the boys.
He was trying to play hard to get,
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? Like,
bro. That's light. That's evil diet.
I don't know. Okay, okay. We'll say C though, just because we have to strike a bargain.
Uh, for Renfield, obviously the antagonist is Dracula here. Um, I think I think he was pretty good as an antagonist. I think there were moments where he felt a little weak, but then there's one scene in particular where he really brings it home on how destructive he is, and it really pays off as to the message of the movie and about how like dealing with toxic relationships and all of that stuff. And I think he kind of pulled through on that.
Which Dracula was more of an antagonist? Him
Or The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
or yeah,
I mean, they're very different types of Dracula.
right.
I think for the purposes of Renfield, I think that Dracula is pretty close to the top because he's not like
Huh.
Last Voyage Dracula where he's like, I'm just gonna kill everyone and I don't care what's happening. The Dracula in Renfield is much more manipulative and like he'll kill a bunch of people and he's pretty brutal when he does it, but at the same time he gets to Renfield and he's like talks to him and tries to persuade him and he's like, no, you belong with me. Like you
Gotcha.
don't get to have your own life. Like, and he gets in his head and he's like messing with him mentally rather than being a straight up monster.
Okay, that's fair.
um
So where would you put it?
Maybe see, here's where I'm confused. I was gonna say B, but then I'm looking at us having Bowser in A, and I'm like, is Bowser better than Dracula in this movie?
I mean, we can always move Bowser down if we realize like, oh well, this one doesn't really deserve to be an S movie, but it deserves to be an A, but it's not on the same level as Bowser.
Yeah, I feel like he's better than Bowser, but he's not an
All
S
right.
tier. So I'm gonna move Bowser
Okay.
down. We'll put this Dracula up here.
And so then the Voyage Dracula.
Voyage
think that's a B?
Dracula, I think as far as an antagonist goes, I don't know, I could do A or S on that one.
Really?
What did you think? Would you put him at a B?
Oh, I thought we were just comparing the Dracula in the movie that you saw, Renfield,
Yeah.
and you said that the Renfield Dracula was higher up as an antagonist, right?
Well, I said he was high up for being like he's a different kind of evil, so it's difficult to compare them. I think he's high up on manipulative, toxic relationship kind of evil, but
Uh-huh.
other Dracula is higher up on like straight up
Just fucking
monster
kill.
gonna kill everyone kind of evil.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we can put him in S tier because he's definitely just he's just killing.
And just like even the moments when he's not there and you can just like feel the fact
Yeah.
that he's on the ship, I think being able to sense that presence even when he's not around is pretty good stuff.
That's true.
Indiana Jones, we have Voller.
Oof.
I think his name was.
Yeah. Something like that.
I feel like he was all right. Like he was definitely a bad guy and he definitely did some bad stuff, but I maybe like a B. I
That's fair. Yeah. That's where I would put him.
think B is fair. Who is the antagonist? Okay, yeah, so this is what I was going to say before. So the movie has two point of views. We have Oppenheimer's point of view, and then we have I forget his first name, but Strauss, played by Robert Downey Jr., is, I think, the antagonist of that movie. And
Yeah.
I'd say he's a pretty damn good one. Like, he effectively ruins Oppenheimer's career. And, like, yeah, he gets a little bit of payback for it in the end, but, like, mission accomplished, dude. Like, he was
agree.
like, I don't like this guy, and he fucked him up.
For years.
Yeah.
For years without people noticing.
Yeah.
I think that's like the more impressive part, right? I think he did all of this in like a really sly, slimy way. And I
Yeah.
think that just makes him that much more of an antagonist.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking S tier, bro.
All right, yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
definitely deserved. That's definitely deserved.
I'm a little on the fence about Spider-Verse because we kind of have two antagonists. There's the Spot, which is like the actual like title antagonist, but then also Spider-Man 2099 is also kind of an antagonist because he's the one that ends up like pursuing Miles towards the end of that movie.
That's true.
And they have ideological opposition.
Yeah, but we have to choose one, and I think that would be Dot, right? I mean, he's the one that kind of breaks timelines and makes cities like fall in on itself all the time.
See, the way I'm thinking, especially since Across the Spider-Verse is part 1 and we find out at the end that the story is going to have to continue in the next one, I would put it as, I think the Spot is more of the antagonist going forward. I think he's going to play a bigger role in the second one because I feel like in this one he didn't really. And like he's a bigger bad guy in the beginning, but then after we go to see the Indian Spider-Man and he like gets all of his powers, we never see Spot again for the whole second half of the film.
That's true. That is true. Oh, maybe a C or B?
Yeah, maybe a B. Just because I think it's a really good. I think they have really good antagonists. I think it's difficult because it's kind of half of a movie because there wasn't really a climax. So
they're like half.
We'll have to revisit this when the third movie comes out.
All right.
All right, let's talk about Kang now that he's gonna be. I don't know if he's gonna be recast or if they're gonna transfer to a completely new villain, but things are about to change. But despite what's happening with the future of Marvel,
despite the real life S tier antagonists,
I think Kang was pretty good in this movie. I feel like it's hard because it's kind of stupid at the end. He gets, first of all, the fact that Ant-Man beat him is like,
a little weird.
Okay, this guy isn't scary if Ant-Man can beat him because nothing against Ant-Man, but like he's like a D tier Avenger. Like he's not super powerful.
No, yeah, I agree.
And then, but then at the same time, like moments where when he has Scott and Cassie trapped in the cage, and then he's like, I need you to get something for me or I'm gonna kill your daughter, and Scott's like, no way, and he like immediately picks her up and like starts torturing her with his weird like telekinetic, and he looks at Scott and he's like, do I look like I don't even remember what he said, but he's like, do I look like a liar to you? And he's like literally torturing this man's daughter, and I was like, that's fucking scary.
Yeah.
So
and also,
I
liked how calm he was in a lot of the movie.
Yeah,
I did enjoy that too.
So,
but yeah, I think it's
kind of flip flops. There are moments when he has like really good villainy, and then other moments where he gets beat up by ants.
Yeah, I mean, putting that aside, I still think like overall, the majority of the movie, I think he was an A tier.
Yeah, I guess being weak at the end is just enough to bring him down from an S.
Yeah.
And then the antagonist for Flash would have been Zod, which, I mean, I guess he was bad, but because they ran through the timeline like 80 times, he kind of just did the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. He was really fucking strong.
Yeah. They weren't able to beat him.
Yeah.
But he didn't really do. It's especially hard because he was already a bad guy in Man of Steel, and so I don't know. Maybe C, maybe D. Even.
Yeah. D would hurt. I feel like just because he did beat up Spider-Man 1,000 times.
You mean Flash or Batman?
Flash. I was looking at Spider-Man's character.
All right, we'll put him in a C then.
Yeah. He's definitely not in the Haunted Mansion. Nah, no way. It's that bad. All right, I think this is pretty solid. I like this lineup.
All right, all
I
right.
don't think. I mean, I know you wanted Barbie to be in the D category technically, but I still think that Ken did, even though he was dumb while doing it, he did do enough
No, I get that.
to be C. Alrighty.
All right, on to our next category. For this one, we're
Single
doing
action
yeah. So
sequence.
I chose action sequence instead of overall action because I feel like that would give an unfair advantage to certain movies over others.
Yeah.
Like Oppenheimer has barely any action in it, and John Wick has a shit ton of action in it. So rather than doing overall action, I'm gonna try and pick a single action sequence out of each movie, and we'll rank them that way.
Okay. Okay.
So what do we think was the like defining action sequence of Mario?
Oh my god.
Um, I feel like I would want to say like the Mario Kart
Like the
scene, but also that was really
Mario
short.
scene? What about the arena scene?
Oh yeah, wait, with him and Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
That one, yeah, yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, yeah, no, let's
That's
do
the
that.
one that comes to mind for me.
So based off the Donkey Kong fight, where would you put this one?
A strong C.
Strong C.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Maybe that's just because it's animated, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it
I just
was
didn't like the fact that we have to like think like, oh shit, like what do we choose?
it was fun, but
It's fun.
it was like
What do you think, a B?
nah. C feels
think
fair
it-
because we were even just complaining about it earlier how like it's supposed to be this big hard fight, but then he just like
Yeah.
out of nowhere whoops Donkey Kong's
Somehow
ass.
slaps him around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knock at the
All right.
Cabin. I guess
Bro.
there was like the struggle where they're like fighting and then the girl gets shot was pretty intense.
Yeah. That's probably yeah. Or like them like dragging the dead bodies through like the cabin in front of them. I don't know.
Is that an action sequence though?
No, no. Yeah, so I guess that the cabin with the car and then kicking them in the face and then getting the gun out.
Yeah. That was a fine action sequence.
Yeah, I think it was very realistic of how
Yeah.
things definitely happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't like over the top. It was like this person in his back seat struggling to get into a box, and then the girl comes over
Yeah.
and like stabs him in the side, and he's like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, I would say it's a strong B.
Okay, okay.
What do you think? You don't sound convinced. Would you said C?
I think
Or
I think
D,
I would have
even?
said C.
Okay.
I think that
Just because what? Like because it wasn't like super engaging, but it was so suspenseful.
that's true.
Like you wanted them to get away.
That's true. Okay, you've convinced me. We'll put it at B.
Right. We can always move it if there's another one where we're like, shit, it's not an A, but it's not a B with this one.
For Guardians, for me I would choose there's that hallway scene. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Wait, see.
It's like a one shot and all of the Guardians are in the hallway fighting those weird animal hybrid monsters.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think that was a really cool sequence.
Okay. Do you think? Wait, I don't think that's an S tier scene though.
You don't think so? I almost want to watch it again.
Oh. You think it's an S tier?
I'm gonna pull it up on YouTube real quick.
Okay.
Turn the sound down so it doesn't I forgot there's that whole like slow walk up with them all like walking in a line away from the fire. Are you gonna watch it as well?
Yeah. Um, I still think A, but if you really believe it's an S, I'm all for it. It's not bad.
I will say it is less effective with the sound off, and I feel like that's another thing that is not unexpected with a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, because like we had talked about before, the music in these movies is usually pretty powerful.
They score it very
Yeah,
well.
I think
Right.
the music does a lot for the scene. Watching it without the music is it's not as impressive.
But I mean, I'm pretty sure we have to account with the music, right?
That's
Or
true.
are we just strictly
Well, no, I mean the music is part of the sequence. The
right?
choreography is really on point, though. I mean, I know there's like it's not actually a one take, and there's like hidden cuts and all that stuff, but
We can do S tier. It's fine.
are you sure?
I think it's like good enough. I think it's good enough to
Maybe like a
potentially
low
hit S
S,
tier.
like
Yeah, like but like
just barely
scrapes the
above.
ass. Who
Yeah,
cares, you know?
it's it just peaked over the line.
Yeah. All right. Next
Haunted
we have
Mansion.
okay. What would be the best action sequence in there?
Um, I mean, I guess
Huh.
there's. Is there even a moment where they like fight any of the ghosts? I
You know
guess
what's
the.
really funny? I think
Sorry, go ahead.
no. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say if I had to pick an action sequence, it'd probably be the one where when Ben does his astral projection, and then he like is going through the house, and because he is like in
Oh,
ghost form, he can see all of the other ghosts, and then he's like running around and trying to figure out what the fuck's happening, and there's all these ghosts all over the place, and then that's
true.
when the bad guy ghost finally sees him, and then there's that moment where he's holding the little candle with the face on it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know,
I
that
totally
was
forgot about
fun.
that. That's definitely the one. The only other one that popped in my head was one who was actually at home. It wasn't even in the mansion,
Oh, with
but it was like the
the
sailor. Like all
yeah,
of a sudden,
where like
everything,
his whole
the
house
waves and
floods.
shit.
That was a pretty good one too.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. But I think yours is definitely more powerful. But man, I think that's C,
Yeah,
C or B.
I think
It
C.
wasn't like okay, yeah, yeah,
I think it
yeah.
wasn't as like action y impressive, but it also wasn't very like emotionally impressive. So I don't think it quite fits with the knock at the cabin one.
Okay.
All right, this is gonna be a tough one. What's the best action sequence in John Wick?
I don't know, dude, but I think we could just put him in S tier. Just saying.
It might be that Dragon's Breath one, because especially not only is the gun super cool, but they have that moment where they do like the top down camera where like he's running through the rooms and you can like see through the ceiling. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
that was really cool cinematography for that sequence as well.
yeah. I think
It almost reminds
there's
me of
just
there's a game called Hotline Miami. I don't know if you've heard of that.
all I may. No, I haven't.
But it's a very similar sort of thing where you're like running through buildings and like shooting people, but it's like
Huh,
it's that same sort of perspective where you're like looking from down from the ceiling kind of a thing.
that's cool. That's a cool perspective.
Action sequence in Barbie. I guess the slow-mo beach fight with the Kens.
Yeah, I like the dance off. I
Um,
ah, dude, low key, when I was thinking about this prior to, I put it in my S tier.
huh,
Just because I thought it was like so different and the choreography was fun and the music was good.
yeah. I
But I think it's a strong A now.
I think it would. I think I'd put it at A just because
Yeah.
it was a. So are you talking about the dance thing, or are you talking about the beach fight?
Well, I was just talking about the dance thing prior to
Okay.
when I was thinking about
Gotcha,
it, but the
gotcha.
beach fight was definitely like very pretty dope.
I
It
think
was really cool.
yeah, I think the beach fight was a really cool moment, but I think when you like
Yeah.
break it down, it's not really like it's it's nothing that hasn't been done before. Like I feel like I've seen
Well,
action sequences in other movies where people are like playing with fake weapons and like you get shot with a Nerf dart and you have to like act super dramatic about getting shot. And it's like it's
wait,
funny.
what
It's
movie is that?
I mean, I don't have it on the tip of my tongue, but
I've never seen one.
I've seen
Maybe
stuff like
Toy
that
Story.
before. Maybe Toy
Toy
Story.
Stories. Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay, yeah, but I think it's
think
strong A for sure.
Renfield. This is
all
hard
you.
doing it. I know it's hard doing a movie that you didn't see.
Yeah. And this is the only one on here, and I was like, well, I wonder if like Elena's gonna pop in a little bit, but
Now Elena is out of the country right now, so
yeah, she's living her best life.
um
Without you.
so part of all of the action sequences in this movie is Renfield before he starts fighting someone will eat bugs because that's how he gets his power.
Oh, that was in the trailer. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Bugs. Okay.
And there's a really funny scene where he's trying to like make friends with his neighbors or whatever, and so he gives one of the children that lives next to him an ant farm. And
Oh
then
my god.
he's like, oh my god, thank you so much, and the kid runs off with the ant farm, and then like 10 minutes later a bunch of bad guys show up, and he usually has like a little like an Altoids container with some bugs in it, but he's all out of bugs, and so he's like, shit, I need to find a bug, and he's like looking all over his apartment, can't find any bugs, and so he runs next door and yanks the ant farm and just dumps it in his mouth like sand and all.
Oh wow.
And then
Wait,
he
why
goes,
were bad guys coming after him?
I don't remember specifically, but it ends up like there's a gang family in the city that is doing some bad shit, and he makes friends with one of the police officers, and the bad guys end up like also getting hired by Dracula at one point.
Okay.
But yeah, he absolutely destroys them, and it's literally the most blood I think I've ever seen in a single fight scene.
Sick.
But I gotta put just for I feel like for comedic effect, I feel like this one's gotta go A.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Indiana Jones.
I think the boat scene was pretty cool. Where they blew up the boat.
What about the train scene in the opening?
It was okay. Yeah, it was kind of cool where they're like shooting the train car and it was like, going through. Yeah, that was a pretty cool.
What about that child absolutely drowning that guy underwater by handcuffing him to a pole?
Yeah, that was pretty gnarly. But the train scene definitely had more action.
Oh, and
Especially
yeah,
'cause, like,
it had that scene where because the train had that giant machine gun on it, and there was
Right.
all of the guys like climbing on the side of the train, and then he points the gun towards the train, and it goes around the
Yup.
corner, and they all just get
Yup.
shot.
yeah,
That was pretty cool.
yeah. I think that was a strong A.
Yeah, it's,
If not, yeah,
yeah.
if not scraping ass of S, but I think A is very fair for that.
I think that is like tickling the toes of of the John Wick sequence.
Yeah, yeah. Or the Guardians of the Galaxy sequence.
Or yeah,
Okay,
that's what I meant to say.
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. Action. I mean, it's got to be the explosion, right? There
Fucking
wasn't
nuke. Yeah.
That was a pretty
I would say that's
amazing
S tier.
moment. And just the
That was like one of the highlights of the movie for me. Like
just the moment of silence where like all of the audio drops out and it's just like you just see the flash.
Yeah.
And then you just like hear all of the men breathing. It's intense.
It's very intense. I would say that's the strongest S tier we have currently. I think that's stronger than the Wick.
Yeah.
Just that. Better than the Dragon Fire scene.
Okay, Spider-Verse.
Ooh. What are we gonna pick from this one?
Probably the chase sequence when he's trying to escape from the spider headquarters and like the hundreds of different Spider-Men are chasing him.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
That was pretty dope. Damn, I think that's an A.
Yeah, easily.
That's a strong A sequence.
Okay, Last Voyage of the Demeter. I guess the scene where what is it, Ogarin, when he's chasing the little boy and then he locks himself in the room and the guy is just like slamming his head against the door.
Oh yeah, that was nutty.
That was wild.
Oh. Damn, that was a good scene. I would say that's B, if not A.
I might put that in A.
Oh. Okay, I think it's an A.
That was a pretty scary scene.
that was a very scary scene.
Okay, Quantum Mania. Yeah. I feel like none of them were super exciting. I mean, there's like the fight sequence where he's like trying to teach Cassie. He's like, you get small and then you punch when you get big, and she's like, oh my god, I did it.
I think that's D tier. I'm thinking, I can't think of one.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things going on in that movie
like
too.
there was a lot of action sequences, but they were all kind of bleh.
Yeah. All right, The Flash.
All right, The Flash. I'd say maybe.
Although it was super shit, I think like when he was falling out of the window, the very start was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Like CGI aside, right? I think.
Yeah, that's true. Like if the babies looked better, that would have been a really fun sequence.
Right.
And I've heard people say they were like, people were happy that the babies looked bad because they were like, if they looked like real babies, then it wouldn't be as fun.
Oh, like PTSD, like children falling out of a window. Oh my god. The dog was also really shit looking. Anyway.
But yeah, that was a fun sequence. I'd say B.
B. Yeah.
Yeah, that feels right.
All right, now let me ask you this: Spider-Verse versus Guardians. Those two sequences. You think that it's proper the way it is?
That's a good question. Huh.
Because the fact that we could remember the Spider-Verse escaping from,
I'll move Guardians down to an A. So we just have Wick and Oppenheimer at S on this.
Yeah. Because I would say Spider-Verse is like very even to that Guardian scene. It's close.
All right. So
but that Guardian was bugging me. So
there's that one.
All right. And that's pretty good. I think like that many 6 in the A category is special.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's very good. By the way, Oppenheimer is still in the S.
Yeah, I mean,
it's still going strong.
Killing it.
It's weird because I didn't even really like the movie though.
All right, let's see how things do on this next category.
So strange.
We've got on-screen chemistry. All right, so we can choose a relationship and see like what the it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. If there's like a really strong friendship in one of the movies, we can talk about that. But I guess in the first one, I would talk about Mario and Peach, I guess, spend the most amount of time together in the movie.
Yeah, but then Bowser and Peach also had like this thing.
Yeah, but that was really one-sided. I feel like Peach didn't really
I
have anything
know.
with Bowser.
But that's why I think it was really funny. I don't know. But yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I don't know. I think that's kind of D.
Yeah, I mean, like,
That's
I
D.
know,
It was
like, with the history of the game, like, Mario and Peach are, like, meant to be a thing, but I feel like that never really came across in the movie.
no, it didn't.
Okay, then with Knock at the Cabin, let's talk about I guess the whole family. I was gonna narrow it down to just the parents, but I feel like their relationship with their daughter is also really strong.
Dude, I thought the antagonists all had a stronger relation than the family for some reason.
You think so? I feel like they were kind of disconnected from each other. Like,
Really?
when each one of them killed themselves, like, I don't know, the other three were just like, all right, well, I guess we'll move the body now. Like, they didn't seem that connected.
Oh, I thought they were definitely
And there were moments
connected.
when they were, like, doubting each other. And remember it, because that was the whole, like, trying to mess with the audience as well as, like, we just met this guy on an internet board. We don't, like, maybe
Oh, yeah,
we were
true.
just all hallucinating. Like, I feel like they
Yeah.
didn't trust each other that much.
Okay, the family then. I'd say they were pretty close, but I don't think they were like heartbreakingly close, if you know what I mean.
You didn't feel bad when the guy had to kill himself?
Not really. Wait, did the guy kill himself?
Or maybe did his husband kill him?
No. Yeah, the husband did it, didn't he? Wait.
I don't remember because there was the scene where they're both in there and that like the camera is spinning around them 360 and there's like lightning outside and
I guess he had to do it himself then,
yeah,
right?
I thought that was the rules as one of them had to, or I don't know actually. I'm pretty sure one of them killed himself and not one person killing the other.
Yeah. But it's just so weird because at the end of the movie, those two were in the car and they're just chilling.
Yeah.
I'd say that's a B. Strong B, very strong B.
Very
if
strong
not
B.
A.
Very strong B.
Yeah.
We can maybe move it up to an A later. Let's leave it here for now.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I guess like I don't know. Do we want to like pick a specific relationship out of the group?
No, I'd say the group is a family.
I guess like weak point would be Gamora, but that's because it's a different Gamora, and so she was like
Right.
not really part of the Guardians in this movie. She was just like with them.
Yeah, we can kick her out because she was a brainwashed, brain-wiped Gamora.
Yeah, but I think like
I
we
think
had
as-
both talked about like the moments where when everyone thought that Rocket was gonna die, like oof,
Those
some
were
of those
heart-wrenching.
moments were real tough.
Yeah,
And
I think S tier for that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I remember I teared up in that movie, so it deserves it.
Yeah, and I know you were talking about, or am I misremembering that? Because what did you say when Peter thought that he died and started crying? That was pretty powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I think for me it was Nebula, because when Rocket woke up, when he got resuscitated, his first question was, "Where is Nebula?" Because they have
that
that
got
like
you.
emotional bond of them both having been tortured. Oh,
Yeah.
rough. I'm
That one
already
got you.
starting.
Are you-
starting to tear up
I was
just thinking
about
about
to
it.
I was about to say, I was like, I hear it, dude. I hear it. That's definitely S tier. The fact that you're tearing up. All right. That's
All
S
right.
plus right there. Wow.
All right, Haunted
All right.
Mansion.
Haunted Mansion is C tier. It's not D. I would say mom and kid weren't really that close. I would say more so it was like the kid and
And Ben.
Ben.
And honestly, their relationship was kind of lame. I'm just thinking about
Yeah.
that scene where he's like outside with the
Outside.
action figures, and he's
Yep.
like, "It's Action Man," and I'm like, "What the
Yeah,
fuck is happening
yeah.
right now?" Yeah, that was
I would
lame.
say D
Honestly, I might put that at F.
or F. Oh, okay,
That
okay,
was.
okay.
I feel like at least Mario and Peach had like a believable relationship. It wasn't a good relationship, but it felt
That's fair.
real. The relationships in Haunted Mansion all felt very forced.
I agree. That's so true. Yep. F. Our first F.
Okay, who does John Wick have a relationship with in this movie? I guess Kane.
Maybe Kane.
Him
Yeah.
and Kane. I really liked all of those moments when they were like fighting, and you could like obviously they have to really try and kill each other, but at the same time they're like not really trying to kill each other.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say that's a strong A.
And like the especially there's that moment. I think it's in their first fight after there's a bit of a shootout, and then John is like hiding behind one of the statues or pieces of art or something, and Kane's like, "John, are you dead?"
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that was such a. I liked Kane a lot. I wish they used him more in like a good way.
Yeah.
All right. Barbie.
Barbie.
Obviously, Barbie and Ken.
I know like a very strong point of this movie is that they're not dating, but I think as far as like actual chemistry goes, like believability of the relationship, I think they nailed it. I think the relationship of Ken like really trying hard to get this girl and she's just like not interested at all. Like I
Mm-hmm.
even despite the fact that they were acting like nothing's happening between them, I could feel the like actual relationship between the actors. You know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's S tier. Yeah. You always felt something there. Just
Yeah.
like or like like
Well,
at
because
least
it's
some
not
type
like
of
yeah, it's
relatability,
not
you know?
like Barbie didn't want to be his girlfriend, but like she still like I don't know, like liked him. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like she was avoiding him or anything.
Right. Right.
All right, here comes the tough one. Renfield, I guess. So the person who Renfield has the closest connection with in the movie is I just lost the character name. I felt like I had it for a second, but it's she's played by Aquafina, and I feel like they had decent chemistry, maybe like C. I know
All right.
like you can't have any input on that, so I'm just talking to myself. But
I'm like, all right, yeah, sounds good. Mm-hmm.
all right, Indiana
All right.
Jones.
Indiana Jones.
Should we talk
Him and his
about
daughter, I guess.
yeah the relationship with him and his goddaughter? Um, it felt it felt genuine.
It did feel genuine. It didn't feel like forced by any means, and it felt like he like did actually care for her and want her not to go
Yeah, and you
and
could
do
tell
whatever she wanted to do.
like there were a lot of the movie she was like pretending not to care about him, but you could tell that she also cared about him as well.
Right. Yeah. I think it's a strong B though. I wouldn't put it in A
Okay, okay.
just because it doesn't have like that flair. But it's like I think it's still a good relationship movie for sure. All
Um,
right, Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. So I guess we'll talk about him and his wife.
There's
Um,
just so much. It's like him and his wife, but then I would also say him and like the mistress. Oh, she's not really even his mistress.
yeah, she's just like
The that one chick.
I feel like
But like
honestly,
their relationship was also really strong and such a different dynamic.
I feel like this one for me might be honestly pretty low.
Wait, really?
I
Dude,
think.
when he found out that she died in the bathtub, he was like out
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
somewhere with his horse and like crying, and his
Yeah.
wife
Okay. I
went and
guess are
found him.
we?
And she was like, "Pull
So
yourself together."
do we want to? Do we want to focus on his relationship with the dead girl or his relationship with his wife?
I think dead girl.
You think that
Just
was
because like
that
the
was the
relationship with his
more
wife was kind of bland.
Yeah, that's okay. So that's what I was thinking. That's why I was gonna put it low because I was like, I feel like they tried to make it seem like him and his wife were really tight, but then I was like, I don't know,
No.
I didn't get it.
Nah, his wife was just too boring, you know?
Um,
That other chick had such flair, and like then they had
that's true.
like
Okay, if we're basing it
oh
off of that relationship, then yeah, I would say the chemistry is pretty good. Maybe not S tier good, but I'd put it at an A.
really?
I don't know.
I would say their chemistry was way better than anything in Barbie. Like I felt I was part of their relationship. And like when he was like telling her that he can't see her again because he has like a
Yeah,
wife.
you're right.
And I was like, damn, like
All right,
she's
all right.
heartbroken. I don't know.
Oppenheimer goes on S again.
Plus, you gotta see a good pair of boobs. You know?
That's true. Florence
That
Pugh got
itself,
some good chest.
I'm just saying, yeah. And then like the when he was in that the interrogation room with his wife sitting behind them and he was talking about that affair that he had, and then the wife saw
Yeah,
him having sex with her in that room.
bro, wild.
I mean, that was just like a whoa. No other movie I've ever seen has done anything like that. Like
Also, I
that
feel
shit
like
threw me for a loop.
Florence Pugh be getting all the sex scenes recently because I don't know if I think this was a 2022 movie, but did you ever see Don't Worry Darling?
I don't think I did, no.
It also has Florence Pugh and her husband in that movie is Harry Styles.
Oh, no way.
And there's like 3 different scenes in that movie where he goes down on her.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, wow. That's a graphic. Oh, that's graphic. Wow. Yep. Damn, on a table? Fuck. All right. Wow. Yeah, she's beginning all the scenes. Okay. All right. So Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse. I mean, Miles and Gwen, I feel like they got some good shit.
Yeah.
I spent that scene where they're sitting like
then also Gwen
upside
and her
down
dad.
that's also true. But their relationship doesn't really like come together until later because they have a really
Yeah.
strained relationship for a good chunk of the movie. But I feel like watching the whole like the awkwardness with like him trying to go on a date with his girl and his parents, like even after
True.
he's grounded his mom. Honestly, should we talk about Miles and his mom? Because that shit was tight.
That was tight. But it was so short.
That's true, but I feel like that's even more powerful that it
That's true.
left such a lasting impression even though there wasn't that much time.
I agree.
And like that scene at the end when he's in the wrong universe but he doesn't know and he's like talking to his mom and he's like, I have to tell something to you and I know that it is really going to be disappointing, and she just like, listen, no matter what happens, I'm going to love you for everything that I've got. And it's like you get that like motherly love coming straight through to the heart.
I agree. That's S tier, honestly. I think I got my teary-eyed with the mom scenes now that I think about it.
That was good. That was good stuff.
Pretty sure.
All right, what's the best relationship in Demeter?
Captain and the kid? Maybe?
You think so? Because you were even talking about how he like didn't even say anything at his funeral.
I mean, yeah, at the funeral, the captain was just like there. I mean, I don't know. I honestly, dude, that's a D for me.
Yeah, I feel like
I can't, unless you think of like the crew like all together as like a relationship.
Yeah.
But
yeah. No, I feel
there's
like
nothing
there was
that
like
I can really pinpoint.
I felt like the most believable relationship was just like that camaraderie between Clemens and that girl, but like it was such a basic like I trust you because we might die kind of a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, it deserves that. All right, Quantumania.
I guess Scott and his daughter.
I don't know.
That's honestly the only, because like the his parents don't really, or I guess not his parents. It's freaking Evangeline Lilly, whose character name I can't remember. Wow, what is the wasp's name?
I don't
Hope.
know.
Hope Van Dyne. Whew.
Okay. Okay. The fact that you remember the actual actor's name is wild to me.
I remember actors way easier than characters.
That shit's crazy. All right. I don't know, man.
But I feel like Hope and Scott are like they're together, but I feel like they weren't together for most of the movie. I feel like Hope's parents didn't really do anything.
I think it belongs in the F category, brother.
Yeah, I mean, it's at least as weak as like even if like Scott and Cassie, like their whole relationship was like Cassie being like, Dad, you don't even care about people anymore. You just gave up on being a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, the Flash. Him and himself relationship?
I mean, we could talk about that.
I mean, that's the only one I can think of. What else is there?
I mean, it's either that or like, I don't know, him and Batman.
Nah, that wouldn't work.
All right, so let's talk about the chemistry between Flash and Flash.
I think it was very brotherly.
I feel like for what it was, I was kind of impressed because
I think so too.
like
yeah,
it's easy. Well, I won't say it's easy, but like it's easier to have good on-screen chemistry when you're actually talking to someone, but having to like record one half and then go and record another half and make it believable that you're interacting with yourself, it takes some skill.
I agree.
So
But where would you put that, you think? Was that an A?
maybe a B? I don't know. Is it an
I mean,
A?
isn't it? I think it's an A, if not higher than Wick. Because Wick and Kane, if we talked about that relationship,
Yeah. I think we can put it at an A.
yeah,
It can be a higher A than John Wick, but I don't think it's quite good enough to be S.
I agree. Yeah, definitely not S tier, but this is really impressive for the S's.
Yeah. This is, I think, our most S's, right? 4?
Yeah. Are we too easy? No. I mean, we put 2 in the F category for crying out loud.
I mean, I've also, let's be real, making a movie
Which one are you thinking about?
Is very difficult. So...
Which one?
What?
Wait, what'd you say? Picking a movie?
No. I was saying, like, because you were saying maybe we're being too nice, but I was like, at the end of the day, even bad movies, like, making a movie is really hard. So...
That's true. Yeah. All right. I like it.
All
I like
right.
it a lot.
For our final category, we have what do we think would be the best world to live in? So, if you had to live in the Mushroom Kingdom, how would you rank? How do you feel about that?
I think that'd be pretty interesting. I think that'd be
I feel like it, for the most part, it'd be pretty easy.
fun.
Like unless Bowser invades and like kills you. Like I don't know. The Toads seemed pretty happy. They were all chilling and hanging out. Like
I agree.
That seems like a pretty peachy life to me. I might give that an A.
A is very worthwhile. Like I wouldn't like dream of being in it, but I still think it'd be like a fun life. Oh God!
Straight F for Knock at the Cabin. Do not want to live, because like your two options are you're the couple that has to decide, or you just die because some other random couple couldn't make a decision.
Yeah. Not it.
Yeah, that ain't it.
Guardians of the Galaxy S tier.
You think so?
I would love that.
I don't
Dude,
know.
like,
I feel like there's
like
so much
animals.
There's so much danger in that world,
and,
though. Like
no, but I think that's what gets me going.
No, but you have to think about like because or at least the way I'm thinking about it is like I am not putting myself in place of any of the characters. I'm like me as me right now. If I was in the Marvel universe, I am not in a good position. Like I'd probably get murdered by some bad guy.
I wouldn't.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
You
I
think?
think I'd become like a mercenary. I
I
got
don't
some
know.
training under my belt. All right.
I
Chill.
think it would. I mean, I guess people don't die that much. I mean, unless you're like, if you're on one of the planets that Thanos went to, like 50-50
Yeah, that's
chance you're
unfortunate.
fucked.
Yeah, but out of all those planets out there, a few can die. It's fine.
um, yeah,
I don't know. I
I
personally would say S. What would you put if I
I'd
would
put
have
it
said
as a
S?
B because I feel like
Really?
as a civilian, it would be super cool to see a bunch of heroes and like you turn on the news and you're like, oh shit, it's Iron Man. Like that would be
Yeah,
dope
how is
to
that a
see that all the
B?
time.
That's
Be-
like an S.
because there's so many fucking bad guys. I feel like I would feel like I was in constant danger. So I'm trying to
But if you
balance.
turn on the news right now, it's only bad guys. Like,
Yeah, but it's
there's
different.
no superheroes.
There's no super villains either, though. I'm not worried
Fair.
about aliens
Okay.
coming here and wiping out half the planet.
That's fair. Okay, we can put it at B. We can put a B. We can put a B. It's fine. I get it.
So no, if you said S, right? So if you're at S and I'm at B, we can split difference at A.
All right. All right. I think I would become a part of the Guardians. Okay?
I don't know about
That's
that.
what I'm thinking. I don't know, man. Let me live in my fantasy world, okay? S tier.
All right, Haunted
All right,
Mansion.
Haunted Mansion.
I feel like that'd be pretty easy. Like, I mean, aside from that one evil ghost, all the other ghosts seemed pretty chill. And
Pretty chill.
also, it wasn't like everyone was getting haunted. Like, it was that one place. So,
Yeah, it was just whoever walks in it.
yeah, like, I feel like
That's a C.
as long as you don't go there, like, that would be pretty much just like living the lives we have now.
Yeah, so what would you put? C, B,
B.
A? B? I'm
Yeah.
down with that. I agree.
John Wick, absolutely not. Maybe an F. Maybe a D if we're being real nice, but like 90% of the people in that world are assassins, so.
Yeah, but like I'm not in the way of an assassin, so
Well, but what if like that whole scene where they're like fighting in the middle of the
the ball?
the Champs-Élysées?
yeah. Oh, that.
Like
yeah, okay.
like imagine
maybe
you're just
C?
driving down the street and all of a sudden there's like 20 assassins in the road shooting at each other.
That'd be so fucking cool.
Bro,
Are you kidding?
you catch a straight bullet like that.
Nah. Dude, in all these scenarios, I'm invincible. Okay.
I don't know.
All right, we can put it in D because that probably wouldn't be fun. That'd probably be like PTSD for a life.
I'm just like, I'm not trying to die. It's my main
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah. All right, so for Barbie, are we in Barbie land or are we in the normal human
I
land?
think we're in normal human land, but with the
Oh.
knowledge that Barbie land exists and is real.
Oh, that's
But
so
also
sad.
keep in mind that the real world in the Barbie movie is not like the actual real world. Like it's super
Right.
like hyper realistic kind of place. So
Yeah.
would you want to live in a world
Maybe-
where office cubicles are like in an exact grid and you're like, oh yeah, we have a ghost on the 14th floor and like all of that
Nah.
stuff.
Yeah, that'd probably be a B or C for me.
Yeah,
Probably C.
I'd put C. Renfield.
All right. That's an F.
not about those vampires.
Nah, bruh. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Nope.
okay, that's fair.
Ain't no one sucking me off, but all right.
Indiana Jones. I feel like there's maybe too many Nazis in this world for my liking.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. There's a parade going on outside, and they're going fucking Nazi hunting, or Nazis are going hunting.
And like Indiana Jones is cool, but it's one guy. Like the rest of the world isn't that interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
It's maybe
I'd say D.
Yeah. I mean, Oppenheimer just is our world, so I mean,
I'd say B.
B.
It's
Yeah,
normal.
it's like it's not
Like, I don't know. Like maybe that's an NA, just because we do live in it. It's not like a different world. It's just history lesson. That's
So
hard.
I guess the question here is,
Maybe
where
how
would you
much do we
rank?
like our world?
Yeah, ranking. What do you think it is just living your life right now? How would you rank that?
Damn, dude, S tier. I'm in Colorado. Are you kidding? Yo, put that shit S. No, I'm kidding. That's fine. I think B is fair for that movie for that time period, right?
Yeah, I guess if we're restricting it, especially to time period, like I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd do too hot during World War II. Like
You
that ain't it
you
for
probably
me.
wouldn't, but I
For a
would.
while,
I'd do
for a
very
while,
well.
you would.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think it's fine just where it is. The first time it's not in the S category.
All right, Spider Verse. I think we can put
Are
that.
we one of the Spider-Man?
No, but
Oh,
I
damn.
think I think living in especially the way that Spider Verse handles it, I feel like living in a world with a Spider Man is a better world. Like I feel
I
like
agree.
with the other superhero stuff, I was like it felt more dangerous because it's like I don't know, there's a lot of bad guys, but in Spider Verse, I feel like the Spider Man really got it covered. Like no one really ever gets hurt in those movies.
So where do you want to put it? S?
I think we can put that in S.
I think so.
That feels like it would be both a fun world to live in and a safe world to live in. And those are my two
Yeah.
main criteria.
Okay, okay. Okay, Voyage. That's fucking F.
Yeah.
Again,
That's
the ship
that's
life.
a bad one.
Yeah, ship life isn't for me. No internet, not for me.
And vampires.
Vampires, not for me either. So,
um
okay.
okay, so I feel like rather than just saying Quantumania is the same as Guardians because they're both technically in the same universe, I'm going to say specifically where would we rank it if you lived in the quantum realm.
Oh, hell no.
That ain't it
That
for
sounds
you?
terrible.
You don't want to like get in a
Maybe.
weird fight with a monster and you cut their arm off and then they grow back and
No.
give you a handshake.
Nope.
Okay.
That's a D or an F for me.
I'm gonna put it in D. I think the world would be better if it wasn't ruled by Kang. We didn't really get to see what the world was like without Kang ruling it.
Without
but I feel
him.
like scenes like that little bar where you like get a little drink and then all of a sudden you can understand everyone. I don't know. I feel like it's not
That'd
the
be pretty
prettiest
cool. I
world, but
agree.
it'd be all right.
Yeah, yeah. That's fair.
And
right,
then
the Flash.
Flash. See this is
Huh?
where I get back into the danger thing because fucking Zod wrecked shop. And like, remember, there's that whole scene where the Flash is talking about how on the day he got his powers, like literally the next day Zod attacked and he went into the city and tried and save people and he like saved this kid, but he wasn't able to save his father. Like so
Yeah.
many people died.
I think D or F again.
I might go F on that one. That feels
F. Okay.
bad.
Yeah, and Flash is kind of weak, so he ain't all that.
This is a very topsy-turvy one we got here. I feel like all of our
Yeah.
other ones were very top-heavy. This one has a lot of Fs on it. Turns out
Makes sense though if
a
you look
lot
at all
of
the
a
Fs,
lot of
though.
these movie worlds not fun to live in.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so interesting for us to watch. All right. Well,
So those are our rankings. I hope everyone enjoyed this new episode. If you guys like it, maybe we'll turn it into like an annual thing. We can just cap off the year
Yeah.
like this.
that'd be really fun. I think this is great. I think it's like a really nice wrap up
Yeah.
for, especially with the movies that came out this year.
Yeah.
You can kind of see them all together. But overall, I think out of all these movies, Oppenheimer was the most S tier.
Yeah, I think Oppenheimer got the highest.
Like all but one. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty. I'd say overall, like, yeah, there were some stinkers this year, but looking at these movies here, most of them are pretty damn good.
I agree. Yeah. Can't
Yeah.
complain.
Pretty good year for movies, I'd say. All right, well, since we didn't review a movie, we don't have any trivia. But
Nope.
do you want to go ahead and get wrecked?
Yeah, let's do it. Do you want to go first, or what are we thinking?
Why don't you go first? Because I don't have one.
Oh, perfect. All right. Well, there is a game that I recommend. It's free. It is on Steam, and it is called The Finals. Basically, what this is it's kind of like a game show kind of game. It's like a 3v3v3, and you collect like basically like these cash drops, and you have to like move them into a specific site, can like capture the flag. And then you have different characters, like a light character, a medium build character, and a heavy character, which they all have different guns, and you can like purchase different guns and hold different nades or bounce pads or like these little grenades that you throw that make these little, basically like a wall out of foam that you can't really get through without shooting it. It's a really fun game. It's free on Steam. I have like maybe 2 hours in this game, 2.2 hours, but I've had a blast. And,
Nice.
And oh, it feels really good. Like the aiming, the movement just feels really toned in, really nice. That's my rec.
Cool. For my rec, I think I'm gonna go with. So recently, I upgraded my mouse. I know we've talked about our mice before. I had a Death Adder, but I recently got myself a Basilisk, which is also from Razer, but it has a lot more customizable buttons. Not like a crap ton. I know I've seen some mice that have like a whole ass keyboard on the side of the mouse.
Yeah,
it's not that wild. But I feel like I don't use the extra buttons that much. But like it's cool to have them, and it's got a lot more lights on this one. There's a little thumb rest, so my thumb doesn't get tired.
That's fun.
The scroll wheel is super cool. First of all, it has like a tilt wheel, so you can not only scroll up and down, but you can scroll left and right as well.
Yeah.
And then one of the buttons releases it, so the scroll wheel has two different settings. One of them has like little notches, so you can like feel it click as you're scrolling it, and then you can switch it to free scroll mode, and then when you spin the wheel, it just like glides, like it's like no friction scrolling. It's super cool.
Yeah, it's a good mouse. I've definitely used it before. Good rec.
All right then. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to subscribe and tell your friends and family about us. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up and hit that bell icon. You can also follow us on X and Instagram at CashFanPod. If you want to send us a message, you can DM us, leave a YouTube comment, or send an email to casualfanaticpodcast@gmail.com. Links for all of those will be in the description. Luke, why don't you tell them what kind of messages they can send us?
You can send us anything from, yo, I loved your review of this movie, to, critiques of like, hey, I think this would be really cool to add. You should let us know of any movie that you would want us to review or a show that you would want us to review. Anything around those lines, definitely let us know. We are here for it.
Awesome. And I hope all of you have a good holiday, and, we'll see you in 2024.
Absolutely. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas, everyone.
Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, happy whatever other holidays you are celebrating at this holidays. Time. And yeah, you go spend time with your families. If you are not spending time with your families, enjoy time with yourself, and just appreciate yourself. So keep being awesome. All right.
Keep doing what you're doing.
This has been Casual Fanatic. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.